Shalom. Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give our honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone and well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing the true doctrine across the four winds of earth and all truth and sincerity. With the Mississippi Camp, once again, coming on the highways and byways, prophesy the downfall of America. So we're going to go on and get into it.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time, and to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than we believe.
So now it's high time to wake out of sleep, man. I mean, and you look at what's going on, man. It's a very beautiful time that we're in, man, because we're seeing prophecies, man, really just blowing up, constantly coming back to back, man. You know, things are happening, man. You got everything going on with Israel and the Gaza Strip. You got everything going. You got Trump saying that he's gonna unleash the police departments across America. You got the head of the FBI saying he's gonna deploy 1,500 agents to Memphis. You know, and we know that's gonna be going other places, man. So they're strategizing to bring forth their rushing to Jacob's trouble, man. You know, so if you're not recognizing these things, not seeing these things, then you're in a dead state of sleep, man. But the Lord sent his prophets to tell you to wake up out of that dead sleep, man. And this is only going for the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, man. Okay? So you know, we're telling you, hey, time is running out. Wake your ass up.
Go ahead, bro. This is the commentary on it. It says sleep means insensitivity to the demands of a Mashiach on the Mashiach's life. And here's the point. It says now is our salvation nearer, means the coming of a Mashiach to deliver us from this sinful world grows nearer every day.
Good. And one of the main things that shows that we're at the end and our salvation is near, man, is that we're seeing Jacob's trouble coming into fruition, man, steady growing. We see the technology of the MOTB being put out there in the open, man. We're seeing them bringing forth this AI intelligence, man, robots, you know, things of this nature. We see war growing up. And these are the things that were spoken of in the scriptures that's going to be happening, man, before the latter end, okay? Or during the latter end, before Yahushua's return, man. Hey, go ahead.
This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 3. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives. The disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Right, so you got to break it down.
I was going to continue.
Okay, well, read that from the top of the time. Well, the things we're seeing being prophets, man, you know, because we come back reincarnated, man. The spirit of the prophets are subject to the prophets, man. So we're seeing these things happening. We're seeing the signs that's being shown, and we're telling the people that these are the things that was going to be happening in the times before the end that the Lord has spoken of as they're actually occurring, man. Again, wars, rumors of war, pestilence, the love of many waxing cold, people becoming lovers of themselves, man. The big situation of the LGBT community thing, man. You know, and that's one thing that happens, of course, during Sodom and Gomorrah, man. When that vile, wicked spirit was making men want men, women want women. These are things that are being presented, showing that we're at the end of this rulership, man. This wicked rulership.
Yahushua answered and said, take heed that no man deceive you.
Take heed. Mean what? Listen. You know what I'm saying? Take in consideration. Believe what I'm saying. You got it, bro.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars, rumors of wars. And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Right. And so, you want to bring that one?
Yeah. You want to say, he had brought that scripture earlier that says, now it's high time to wake out of sleep. These are signs that the Father, that Yahushua, the Son, Yahweh's only God's sign is coming back. These are the signs like the rocking signs. Hey, wake up, wake up. Each time you see these signs, each time you see a prophecy come to pass, the shaking is getting harder. The shaking is getting harder. But you're gonna have 2/3 of our people that shrug it off and go straight back to sleep because they don't want to get up. They don't want to get ready. You know, and when the Father come back, when the Father send Yahweh shot come, when the Father send Yahweh shot to come, everybody who's not up is gonna get left. You know?
Hey, I was saying because it said, "What, be ye not troubled?" And see, and the reason the Lord's elect are not going to be troubled because we have the Comforter, man. The Lord has given us the heads up of everything that's going to be going on via prophecy, man. But then you got the 2/3 who are not acknowledging or paying attention to what's going on. What do we have? Jacob's trouble coming. So Israel gonna have to go through Jacob's trouble even with the Lord's elect. But the elect is not gonna be troubled, but 2/3 are gonna be very troubled, man, because they're not paying attention and taking heed of the prophets that's being fulfilled and coming to pass, man. You got
it. Real quick, yo. This y'all been talking about signs. This is Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, everything that the brothers have been speaking about, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh.
Good, man. And what do we look up and see when we look into the skies, man? We seeing chariots, man. Those are the vehicles out of salvation, man. And then you got this guy, what's his name? Some dog talking about that the chariots are not trying to make boast of. Ron Dawson, man. You know, having his say so. Yeah, this idiot, man, who has not the spirit of Habashimi outside, trying to make mockery or try to mock regarding the chariots, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to say they're supposed to have horses and, you know, man, hey, fuck that nigga, man. He's gonna die. You know what I'm saying? Simply put, man, because, you know what I'm saying, the Lord is not to be mocked, man. You know? But at the end of the day, those chariots, man, are signs and tokens of the salvation of our deliverance, man, by way of Yahweh Bashim outside for his elect.
He can't think of nothing outside to my chariot with a horse. The Lord don't need no horse. He made the whole earth, the elements, and everything like that. You mean to tell me that he gotta be within your limits and your thinking, nigga? It don't work like that.
Right.
Well, was he just scoffing or he actually thinking like that he gonna come?
Most likely an agent.
He bought it paid.
I think he had a documentary on Amazon Prime.
The Negroes, some shit. Hebrews, the Negroes,
some shit. Yeah.
So
like he just
bugged up shit.
He set up the cause confusion.
He said he saw Jeff.
Yeah. Trying to blame shit.
Yeah.
He saw the so-called white man that ruled the earth. Okay, and see, and that's gonna play a factor in the build of the prophecy, because you do have a lot of naysayers. But the agents, they do push that confusion. You have people actually not believing in the chariots, but that's going to make it so much, grandier their appearance in their chariot, because so many people don't believe.
Right.
I was gonna say, because you can tell there's a lack of spiritual intelligence, because they might not believe in the chariots, what they call UFO, right? Come down to save us, but they believe the man they call Jesus Christ would literally come back on their horse. The horse can't breathe in space.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
what's that's a lack of spiritual intelligence. You know, you believe he doesn't need either of them. But this is the fashion he's going to be coming back in.
It's a pastor in the heavens.
Right.
Horses are running around waiting.
Grazing and shit.
He gonna come back.
They try to mix that They try to mix that North mythology into our stuff. Cause that was said supposed to be happening during the time of
They go back to Apollos. If you look up a picture of the sun god Apollos. He's in the clouds riding on a bunch of horses. He's behind the chariot and there's a bunch of horses. But they go back to that sun god Apollo, because you look at all the Renaissance art of Yahushua, what do? They put that halo around them. Because really much Constantine pretty much transferred the true imagery, the true icons, and he made it to pagan icons, man. During the time of Constantine, the Council of Nicaea. You know, he merged Howard Shah with Apollo and Mithras, the sun gods that were Greek and Rome.
What his brother just said, I would do the same thing. The spirit, it go, every time you look at like those Greek, all of the Greek imagery, the Greek idols and everything, all of them got like that same thing when you look at Zeus, Hercules, and all these niggas, all of them had that same type of imagery.
Yeah. See, like this Ron Dong guy, it's like he's trying to create a box to put Yahweh Shai in, man. And when he's the one in the box, you know what I'm saying? He's confined to his own delusions, man. Or just working his to earn his check. But at the end of the day, man, he's gonna receive a heavy judgment, man. Because you know, he's one of those ones who influence the simple minded to believe the things he believes, man.
Just he's going to pay for it too. Because there's no way you get that documentary on Amazon
Right.
and not be, and not be in line with everything. So what the nigga does is he gives you some of the truth, get you to make it believable, so he can yield left and you get off the lane of the truth.
Same thing they do with Alex Jones. Control opposition.
He's controlled opposition.
Yup. I got a book. This is Ephesians 4 and 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness.
I can say something. Jay got a term about standing on business. So we supposed to stand on business, which is the truth. You don't supposed to go left or right every time you hear a different doctrine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That makes you unstable. But if you stand fast in Yahweh Shah, your feet is cemented in the truth.
Right.
Because your feet is cemented in this foundation. Yahweh Shah is the foundation. And you're going to stand upright. So when you hear something, you're not going to lean left or lean right. You're steadfast.
Finish it off. And it says, and cunning craftiness whereby they lie and wait to deceive.
Can I say one more thing? The cunning craftiness, because they'll have certain artifacts, certain documentation of history to make it believable, but at the end of the day, it's still not the truth.
The high budget production.
The high budget production,
Right.
you know, niggas like Kyrie believe in it, and he's pushing it on you.
Is that in Colossians? Is it Colossians where, you know, speaking on, you know, if you're not speaking the name, how about see me outside and you're changing up the doctrine, it'll be a curse unto you? You know what I'm saying? So these niggas really, they cause themselves to be cursed, man. Because they flipping and switching up, you know what I'm saying? Throwing different avenues in there. They're throwing Jesus, they're throwing the Christ, they're throwing a little truth, like the elder saying. Then they'll throw in some kind of, you know what I'm saying, shift, like Japhet is pretty much Esau, you know. And they just, you know, just switching it up, man, and changing people's minds who are, you know, weak-minded and believing this shit.
I got one real fast quote. Hey, Galatians 1:8. But though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which we have preached unto you, let him be accursed. So basically, if an angel even come to you, you know, trying to put some bullshit doctrine in your mind, you supposed to rebuke that angel, man. You supposed to curse that fucking angel out. You supposed to make a video on the angel, right? Because at the end of the day, he's trying to get you to go off because he's left-handed, right? Just the back, bro. I got one back. Okay.
This is back to going going into being rooted. It's Colossians 2:7. Let your root, it's in NLT, let your roots grow down into him and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth you were taught and you will overflow with thankfulness.
Because when you root it, if a tree is rooted into the ground, what? It's going to grow. How's it going to grow? It's absorbing minerals. It's absorbing everything it needs to flourish, nutrients, and all those things, man. So if you're rooting this truth, you steadfast and you sticking to the doctrine and you constantly building up with brothers, iron sharpening iron, you're gonna grow, man, because what? You're rooted in the truth. You're not going to this doctrine, you're not going to that doctrine. You're staying and preaching and teaching what you've been taught by your apostles and elder Christian brothers on down. You know?
This is verse 8. It says, don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from the spiritual powers of this world.
No respect of persons. And even Galatians 1:8 said, even if it's an angel, you're supposed to rebuke it, man.
Right.
Why? Because we already know what we're supposed to believe in.
Right. It says, I'm starting from 80. It says, don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world. Rather,
It said empty philosophy, because trying to make the so-called white man Japhet, what did they do for us in our situation?
Right.
They pushed us back.
Yeah.
Now we gotta wait for Esau to come back to come into power, put us in slavery, you know, be woken up to the truth again. Like, no, like if Esau and Japhet, everything we're doing is for naught. If the so-called white man is Japhet, everything that we're doing for naught. And this shows you can tell where the lie coming from, because who benefits from it? The so-called white man would benefit not being Esau and being Japhet. So that's the source of the lie, you know?
And how can one race of people be everybody?
Yeah.
This nigga is the so-called Egyptians, Israel,
Babylonians.
Pharaohs. Yeah.
Everybody but Esau.
Everybody, man. But himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I want to say, look, I want to do some little history study on Gad. It was a movie called I think it was Two Wolves or the Buffalo Soldier or the Buffalo something. Or Wolves. It was supposed to be about Gad. You had a few Gadites in the back, but the main Gadite was a white woman. It was a white woman, the so-called white woman, Edomite man coming to marry this this Gadite woman.
It's Edomite supremacy. And it goes into your sub-fucking countries. Yep. Everybody that's great were Edomites. Every nation, that's why in your brain, it's hard to fathom that Jacob ran a nation by himself. Or the heathen ran by themselves, man. The Cushites, the Hamites, because Esau really sold us Edomite supremacy through the school system, man. And through Hollywood. All right? Like he was going into, everything is a fucking curriculum. Everything is a fucking curriculum, man. All right?
The hypnosis through repetition.
The hypnosis through repetition. Cesare Borgia, Christopher Serapis, it was repetitively inculcated into our minds since we were babies.
And you said subconscious. And I always go into that term subconscious, but this is a definition. It's a portion of the mind that operates beneath conscious awareness, influencing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors without being immediately accessible to the conscious thought.
Right, and you speak to the subconscious through what? Repetition.
Right.
And it's funny because we said that when we was watching Kevin Samuel's video, it was like, man, these women be in a trance. And they be regurgitating feminism. And they be Kevin be waking them up out of a trance.
Right.
But Christianity was a trance.
Yes,
Feminism, street culture. Because we've been inculcated these same ideologies over and over again.
And I'm going to say something about the subconscious. The subconscious is 90% of your mind, right? Think of an iceberg. What you see is the 10%, but what's underneath, that's the biggest portion. So it's the same concept when it's applied to the mind. Your subconscious is 90% of your mind. So your thinking, your feelings comes from ultimately your subconscious, but pretty soon, the more it's flooded with negative thoughts, it's going to become something conscious. That's how it works. That's the reason why he programs things. You see things in commercials. He doesn't even have to say nothing, because even by saying things, it's still going into your subconscious mind.
And he has the color scheme down pat.
Yeah.
That's why the most dominant colors when it comes to advertising, like red and yellow, like McDonald's colors. He has the colors down. He knows how the subconscious reacts to colors, music notes. Like I was going into MLK and Tupac, they got them same fucking notes when they speak. Yeah, it speaks to that subconscious, that soul, man. I had a dream. Hail Mary.
Follow me.
Follow me. Same thing with preachers. Go ahead, bro.
I had one to add, his blessing is the sword, but something about a swordsman, when you go, do history lessons on them, or you study them, they swordsmen, a lot of times they are well blacksmiths. They know how to construct and make a sword. So Esau has well constructed these men and these women, to be as deadly as they are.
He weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a beautiful point, because he weaponized the nigga woman and Jake. They're walking weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Like these niggas snapping any moment. They're really Manchurian candidates.
Bro, since you said that, I think she's probably going to do a video on it. But you had this Jake out there in Chicago, and he was standing in line. There was a young lady in front of him, and so you know what? I think I did a video too about the traveling out with the bold man. So this dude is in line, and the dude is a girl in front of him. So you had this car, and so she purchased something. I guess he asked her, did she want some weed? She leaves. Her boyfriend gets out the car. He gets out the car and starts trying to aim the gun at your boy. So your boy trying to put the gun down, and he shot that nigga 7 times. 7 times.
I got your house shot right here.
No emotion.
No emotions, bro.
That Manchurian Candy.
Yes, sir.
Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
And because when the scriptures say, Esau had furbished his sword, you know, of course, in his technology, how he weaponized everything, you know, but like he weaponized people. Like he furbished a nigga. Like going back to it, Tupac was the first archetype of just a street nigga, you know, and then he has been evolving it, all right, version ever since then to now. You got the NBA Youngboy. So you look at from Tupac to NBA Youngboy, Esau being in the lab, cranking this shit up.
He's the grandfather of dream.
He understands.
Both of y'all said really good to what Paul was saying about that consistency. Because if you ever just look at a swordsman and study how they fight, they don't just go for blows. A lot of them, they're real patient. They cunning. They sit there, you know, they're real defensive. They really protecting themselves. But it's a consistency because they're slowly breaking their opponent down. And then soon that heavy blow come in, usually one that'll knock them down, they might hit a certain part of the leg or something. But it goes into that consistency you were talking about. It's the same thing over and over again. They're slowly wearing down. Esau slowly trying to wear down the 2/3.
Well, I got it right here because it was a wax cold, and the definition came out through the spirit. All right, wax cold goes back to what? Sukkos goes back to the psycho. And it says, under the biblical usage, the key word, the key definition, metaphor of waning love. Of waning love, man. So, hey, like the song goes, ain't no love in the heart of the city. So part of the signs of the times is people have no love, no mercy, no compassion for each other, man.
That makes you, according to that scripture, that makes you psychotic. It's not only about, you know, seeing things that you don't see, which is a part of psychosis, hearing things which you don't hear, which is a part of psychosis, but also when you can walk this world, get out your car, and kill a man in broad daylight.
Compassion is gone.
Compassion is gone, so that makes you psychotic as well.
Just with Eve, I would say just with Eve on social media rants, you know, how she's talking about feminism and things of that sort. She's mentally deranged, man. Like, she's not talking in sense. You know, just how Eve going on her social media rants.
But you know, even with the infidelity thing, man, like American women, Western women, how they're so careless about infidelity, that's part of being a psycho too. Because you have no compassion, you have no feelings, man. The nastiest stuff that women have said on social media, how they blindsided their men and what they let other men do. Even from a fidelity standpoint, you're psycho. Having multiple sexual partners.
And then on top of that, you're the weaker vessel. Here you are, you're trying to chance your situation with a man, and knowing that he can be able to take you down whenever he can.
Jump in the man's face. You know what you're saying?
That's psycho.
Yeah, you're psycho.
This is you know how you used to watch the old Western, they call it the Wild Wild West. Well, America whole is a wild, wild west, man. It's something that's wild, it's untamed, man. It's just uncivilized, man. These people just do as they will, man.
You going off your primitive instincts.
Yeah.
You have no godly spirit in you. The suppressed.
Right.
Your instinct. All that you have is your instincts.
And that's what makes you psychotic. Because remember, according to the scriptures, action is what? To love the Most High is an action.
Yes, yeah.
But if you can manipulate a great nation like us and make us become degenerates, you are extremely powerful, man. You are very powerful, man.
You turn a nation of people into a sword.
Shit.
Sword comes in many forms.
Yep.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 12. And the Most High looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt. For all flesh had corrupted his way upon earth. And the Most High said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence. This is back in Genesis 6, And 12 it says, and the Most High looked upon the earth and beheld.
And the Most High is doing the same thing now. History repeats itself. It's the same generation from before that's back here now. Go ahead, bro.
And it says, and it was corrupted, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon earth.
Lifestyles, actions, behaviors based on philosophies. And philosophies corrupt your mindset. And when your mindset is corrupted, it displays in your actions. Go ahead, bro.
He said, and the Most High said to Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them.
And it's the same thing now, and that's why we have the second coming of Yahushua, right? To reset something. Reset what? This world, man. And it's going to be programmed in a new world order, but guess what? Those laws, statutes, and those commandments, or those policies are coming from Yahweh, through Yahushua. Go ahead.
You said apples. I said philosophy is a good mindset. You read the Genesis, when you go back to the garden, the apple wasn't a real apple.
Right.
It was the philosophy of
That's it. And show you how Esau knows that, look at your iPhone. It's an apple.
With the bite taken out.
with the bite taken out of it.
Yeah.
And it says, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth.
Right, and I will destroy them with the earth. And these people in America are going to be destroyed, man. 2/3 of our people and these other nations, beginning with Esau. All right, they're going to literally bite the bullet.
If I can add, the Lord gonna combine the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah and the flood. So He's gonna flood America with fire. That's why I call it lake of fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, so you have the violent culture and the lewd culture all at once. So they're gonna get the judgment of the flood and the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah.
I got one, bro.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Oh, I know my commentary, man. He's my scribe.
Okay.
I was saying too.
All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon, 14-22. Good News Translation. Result of idolatry. One thing led to another. It was not enough to be wrong about the knowledge of the Most High. They lived in a state of evil warfare, but they were so ignorant that they called it peace. They murdered children in their initiation rituals.
Hey, this is happening in America all over again. Right? This same thing is happening in America right now. Go ahead.
All right. They murdered children in their initiation rituals, celebrated secret mysteries.
Right, you got Jake doing that now. You got secret societies, and how do they get down? Huh? The Boule, which are nothing but gatekeepers, right? But at the end of the day, Jake gatekeepers. Go ahead, bro.
And held wild ceremonial orgies.
Right, look at Puffy.
Come on, man.
Well, where did Puffy get it from?
Esau.
He got it from Esau.
Cane boy.
Right, and I'm gonna tell you how wicked Esau is. Here, you can break down Puffy, right? You can show his list, but what about the Epstein list, right? And then it's rumored that Epstein ain't even dead. I seen that nigga on the video. He was in Lebanon.
This nigga ain't dead.
And this motherfucker was going live. Who recorded him?
They ain't gonna show that nigga because a lot of them niggas was on.
Exactly. But who though? These senators, these congressmen, your politicians. Yeah, that's right. Go ahead, my brother.
Start back at 23. They murdered children in their initiation rituals, celebrated secret mysteries, and held wild ceremonial orgies with unnatural practices. They no longer kept their lives or married as pure.
And I'm gonna tell you about that sex magic. The sex magic is a part of Satanism. But as you're having this act, you're supposed to manifest it in your mind, right? To make it come true. Go ahead, bro.
A man might kill another by an act of treachery or cause him grief by committing adultery with his wife. Everything was a complete riot of bloody murder, robbery, deceit, corruption, faithlessness.
And what about Puffy? Didn't Cassie supposed to be his wife? Well, look how many niggas ran through this.
Right.
Girl said she had sores on her tongue. Go ahead, bro.
Corruption, faithlessness, disorder, falsehood, harassment of innocent people, ingratitude, moral decay, sexual perversion.
If I could say something, that movie, Eyes Wide Shut, starring Tom Cruise, they showed you a glimpse of that. What they do in different ceremonies, man. Also, when I stayed with the Zaquan, going back to 2013, roommates, the one movie, it's starring Johnny Depp, Ninth Gate. I want to say it's the title. Yes, Ninth Gate. Basically, they shows like towards the end of the movie, you had different men in them black robes and whatnot. Like, so to make an Esau Edom world, like you gotta pretty much partake in this, man. You know, them different rituals. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
The worship of idols, whose names, I'm sorry, let me go back. Harassment of innocent people, ingratitude, moral decay, sexual perversion, broken marriages, adultery, immorality. The worship of idols, whose names should never be spoken, is the beginning and the end, the cause and the result of every evil. People who worship them lose control of themselves in ecstasy, or pass off lies as prophecies,
In the flesh.
or live wickedly, or break their word without hesitation. They tell lies under oath and expect no punishment because the idols they put their trust in are lifeless.
Right. And the big idol of the music industry is Baphomet.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how you have to get down. Right. A dual entity. Right. A dual deity. Right. And so according to them, Baphomet is supposed to be what? A form of balance. Go ahead, bro.
Logic.
This,
Yeah, come on, bro.
Okay.
this is Psalm 83, verses 2 through 5. It says, "For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head."
Esau is on top now, right? And guess what? His joint heirs are these other nations, right? Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy enemies.
And how? Go ahead. Bring the
I
point.
was gonna say, one of those things like y'all elders been going into it, brother. That turmoil and that crafty counsel is their repetitive of this bullshit they put on the TVs, on the radios. You know what I'm saying? In the schools, the classrooms. You know what I'm saying? To enchant and mold the minds of the people to be completely wicked, man. To follow, to be engulfed in this westernized way of living, the doctrines, the lifestyles, man. And they use even Jake to do it, man. You know, so that's a part of that crafty counsel, man, which still takes place today up there in what is it, when they had that big ass owl and shit.
Sonoma County.
Yeah.
Sonoma County,
Yeah, California.
you know.
You talking about when they present themselves?
There you go.
Yeah, present themselves to Molech.
Yeah. You know. So I mean, this is the results of wicked rulership, man. You know, it's not gonna be righteousness in this rulership other than the Lord's people, man, His elect, and those who are believing Yahweh Shem Shah, man. But other than that, everybody just dives right into the ways of Esau's wicked society, man.
Verse 4, it says, "They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation."
And that's what it's all about. Because why? They don't want us to attain what the kingdom of heaven. Right? That's what this shit is all about, man. Right. Esau had his synthetic blessing, but guess what? He still want ours.
And
right?
if I can say, going back, we were talking about earlier, the Run Dog ain't his name, with that shit on Netflix, Negroes, the Hebrews. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It shows you that little twist and everything he throwing on there is to dismantle Jake and put him into some kind of enchantment, because brother do a 20-minute, 10-minute video speaking on Yahweh Shem outside shit's going on in this earth, man, and brothers, the whole channel gets shut down, get strikes. But this nigga put this bullshit on Netflix. He getting checks for it. I think it's still up.
He's bought it.
I mean, Prime. I mean, yeah.
And the only ones that will get enchanted is the 2/3.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
It said that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
And that's what it's all about. Destroying the Israelites, because at the end of the day, he think he's the beneficiary of that blessing. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "For they have consulted together with one consent, they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against it."
Right. The whole agenda is to stop the nation of Israel. Confederate, meaning what? They're joined together. They're in concert together. It is their pleasure, you know what I'm saying, to stop us.
Can I read it in NLT?
Go ahead, bro.
Back in Psalms 83 in the NLT, yes, this was their anonymous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. And that's it, man. You know, all these different nations come together, you know what I'm saying, and they come up with anything in any way to offset prophecy by trying to, you know what I'm saying, to bring these draconian laws, everything, going back into the unleashing of the police and the 1,500 FBI agents, man. All these things that has been in conspiration to come against the nation of Israel, man. They not getting these people together, man, to come at Esau or these heathens. You know, they not unleashing the police to have the absolute authority to do whatever they want to people. It's gonna be you Israelites, man. Some of the other nations might get caught up in there being collateral damage, but ultimately, this is all about the orchestration of Jacob Trump to come down, man. As he goes into what is Revelation 12 and 12, how did jump to come down that great route, man?
I mean, this book of Psalms 2 and 1 in the GMC. Why do the nations plan rebellion? Why do people make their useless plots?
Can I say something? What's the rebellion? Us attaining the kingdom of heaven. But these nations are they controlled by Satan, right? So the game plan is what? To stop the nation of Israel, and that's rebellion. Because the Most High's goal is what? To establish Yahushua in the earth, to establish the kingdom of heaven in the earth, to erect the physical kingdom. Go ahead, bro.
That's why I said with Isaiah 10, how they work evil, they devise iniquity upon their beds.
Yeah.
You devise something, that means you subtly doing it.
Right.
Just like really the spirit of the serpent within the garden.
Mm-hmm.
What was his attributes or characteristics? He was very artful in deception.
Crafty.
He's very crafty and cunning, man.
And the reason why, because Adam had a physical kingdom out there, man.
That's right, bro.
He had a kingdom. It tells you in the book of Ezekiel how the trees was jealous of him. These nations was jealous of him.
That same spirit, that cunning spirit, is jealous of Yahushua's future kingdom.
Right.
It's going to be planted here on the earth, man.
That's it.
So he's doing the same thing, those same tactics, back all over again.
And again, history repeats itself because it's the same spirits coming back around what, the third or fourth generation.
Like, if I may say this, you got the movie they clone Tyrone, and it basically shows you the artful nature of the Esau has towards the 12 tribes.
Right.
Because now he has the upper hand on us, and he's using all type of enchantments to keep us away from Yahweh.
That's right, bro.
So now Jake is under that trance, or was under that trance, and 2/3 it still is.
That's it. Hypnosis.
Hypnosis.
Yeah.
It says, why do the nations plan rebellion? Why do people make their useless plots?
Right, this new world order, y'all gonna get super close, but guess what? It'll never fucking happen. Right? Y'all going to get close, but it's not going to happen. Go ahead, bro.
Their kings revolt. Their rulers plot together against the Lord Yahweh.
Yeah, you puppet governments. Esau sets up puppet governments. Right? Hey, look, the video I did about the liquor. Right? I forgot the name of the dude that's over the liquor coming out of Mexico, but guess what? Yeah. He's down with it. Don Julio is full of fucking corn syrup. Right? But guess what? These motherfuckers, they want to fatten their pockets. They don't give a damn about you.
No integrity.
No integrity. They only care about them and their families.
But you know what, bro? That's the spirit. Because a while back you had mentioned how they put something in the liquor.
Yeah.
And see, now it's like they getting more crafty with it. You know?
I'm gonna tell you something though, because when we went out there overseas, man, the last time we went, we was drinking 4 fifths a day. Never had a hangover. As soon as I get back, I detox. I took some time off, and my very first drink over here, my hand started hurting. But I'm drinking. I'm just saying, but you haven't. But we was drinking amongst 4 individuals, but you never had a hangover, never got dehydrated. Now you got women over there that they can't afford liquor. They're drinking beer. But why they don't have beer bellies?
They don't have beer bellies.
Did they have beer bellies? No, because you was there.
They look good. They were slim.
Yes.
Yep.
And what did Cardi B say? Cardi B said, I don't know what's going on in America. This is about 5 years ago, maybe post-COVID time. But she said you have guys over there in the Dominican Republic, 60 and 70 years old, can outrun somebody 20 and 30 years old over here.
And then you see the Jakes from Jamaica or the West Indies, and they come to America, they ripped up.
Yeah.
50, 60 years old, ripped up, and they still eat that Jamaican food.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, man, like the McDonald's, the Coca-Cola, they've all done deals behind closed doors to take the ingredients, man.
That's right.
There's no integrity in mass production in America, man.
Hey, Longhorn, right? Longhorn, Dennis. Somebody get the eat your bread and follow amongst the Gentiles. I think it's Longhorn, Denny's, and Outback. Right? They have a contract with these farms, and per the government, that basically Longhorn cannot accept steaks unless the cows are vaccinated. They're vaccinated, and they have to be fed GMO products. But guess what? That causes what? Cancer in the long run.
But you know what? The spirit is on us. Hey, leave this shit alone.
What?
You know, I mean, you know, if you out and about, you gotta
Yeah.
But most of the rest is low level, man.
Yeah.
Because the steak is supposed to be grass fed anyway.
So they say.
So they say, and if the company has grass fed, they're gonna post it. They're gonna advertise. And they're gonna charge you more.
And I'm gonna say this one since you said that they Whole Foods,
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
know we get the best out the worst. But
Yeah.
guess what? It's a mass production.
Yeah, they sold out.
They sold out.
It's a corporation.
It's a there we go.
Whole Foods
It's a
is a corporation.
corporation. So the best thing you can do is go to your local farmers market,
Local butcher, man.
your
brother,
local butchers.
But brother mentioned also because you know up north they got all type of different stores. You know, Apostle Tahar mentioned places like Trader Joe's. Like pretty much they're all compromised, man. You know, so it's really why we pray.
That's right.
And we work on our vitality too.
Yeah.
We don't just eat and sit. Hey, brothers got that. You can control. You doing walks. You can control the working out and stuff. There's somewhat counter it, man.
Yeah.
Because I've learned if you don't exercise, you just eat American food. What happens? You're tired all the time. You can't control this weight gain. Chronic disease.
Yeah. And that's why the scripture says what? Exercise what?
Little.
It profits little. It does nothing for the spirit. But look what it does for the body.
Yeah.
But your spirit has been exercised by the scriptures.
Yeah.
So now you have a unified front. You exercise and you're spiritual too. Look at these jakes that don't even believe in the truth. You got jakes out there in New York, calisthenics, right? They're 60 years old, but they have the bodies of what? A 20 or 30-year-old.
Right.
Why? That goes to show you what the scripture says. Exercise, it profits little. It does nothing for the spirit, but it does wonders for the body.
Yeah. You're not gonna wake up to the truth because you can pull up.
Right.
But I say this, it clears your mind
Yeah.
so you can receive the word. Yeah, do both, man. But go ahead, bro.
Like you say, like exercising, things that sort for us, like sweating.
Yeah.
That removes demons out.
Yeah. You run them demons out, man.
Yes, sir.
So hey, we learn as we go, man, and we got the apostles as examples, man.
Right.
But hey, like I said, working out, like you said, sweating, detoxing, it raises your vibration, man.
Yeah, that's right.
And like you can't escape the curses, man. Because like y'all elders are saying, when Jake's done started trying to eat a little better and everything, so he started going to these like we say Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. Esau know that, so Esau on the other day just collateral damage. They making sure they gonna pump that poison inside these grocery stores as well, man.
You
Just
think
for the simple fact.
You think the raw tides going to the Whole Foods?
Hell no, man.
Right? They have their shit probably slaughtered right there before them.
Right.
We eat dog food.
Yeah.
They look at this like what do you get slapped to the swine?
Right.
You get swapped to the cattle, yeah.
They call us Goyim.
They call us
They
boil.
call us Goyim.
So and all these missing humans,
Right.
I speak about plant-based a lot. I've done it a lot in this truth. But look, GMO crops.
Yeah.
And a lot of farmers are forced to grow GMO
You
crops.
have to, bro.
You gotta grow GMO crops.
Yeah.
The fruit don't have no fucking flavor, a lot of it.
Right.
So the only answer is your Hawashite, man.
And what would make a farmer sell out? Okay, look, you got a family. Your family has to be provided for.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
So I gotta do it.
Hey, or he might get off.
Or he might get off.
You might get off, man.
Right.
But I was going into algorithms, and I'm looking up the word algorithm. It goes into formulas that create an outcome. Like when you do mathematics, you use a formula to get the answer. A plus B carry to 6. It's like a formula, equation.
Right.
So with algorithms, what this man does, like the processed food to graveyard pipeline, it's like an algorithm. We're gonna start with the processed food. All right, it's gonna lead you to get sick. It's gonna make you dependent on the big, you know what? Yeah, big P for about 20 years. So through your insurance and your Medicare, you're gonna be paying us about 20 years, and you're gonna drop dead. So that's like based off how I perceive the definition, that's like an algorithm to death. Esau, because he's a cunning hunter.
Right.
So a cunning hunter, man, you create an equation that engenders a desired outcome, man.
And when you look at that Hebrew for cunning hunter, again, it goes into one that captures souls.
Come on, man.
You can't make it up.
This is the book Ezekiel, chapter 4. Get to the point in verse 12. And thou shalt eat it as barley cake. Well, all right. This is Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. And the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles.
This prophecy is happening in real time, right now, and for years. Right back in the 70s, in the 80s, obesity was not a factor. Right, you could count the obese people in your school, and you probably wouldn't get over 5 to 10 people. When we were coming up, people were exercising. Right, we was chasing girls. We were playing football. We were playing basketball. We didn't have these phones. None of that shit. Right, we were active.
People were mobile.
We were mobile. Man, go into like these nostalgia videos
Yeah,
back in the 80s, in the 90s, when you see people at the malls and things of that nature. It was just so fucking vibrant, man.
And Jake had like a 29-inch waist.
Yeah.
Jake had a 30-inch waist, man. And like you said, it was life, man.
It was life, bro.
Hey, existence has shifted.
Man,
it's different now.
this shit sucks.
It's no flavor in this motherfucker.
No, man.
Now the valley of the shadow of death is like manifesting, man. Everything just like a dead state.
And queer and people who are like weird, they were a minority. Young people who are weird, they're the majority.
Yeah.
Jake got that emo movement, gothic movement. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even the YNs, that's the majority.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, the thug was the outcast in the neighborhood.
Right.
Just like Keisha, she's the majority now.
Yeah.
You know, you got like so-called decent women amongst our nation, but Keisha's at the forefront.
The archetype of Keisha, man.
Where did that architect come from? Architect come from poetic justice. I never seen a movie where women was talking to niggas like this. I was like, God damn.
Hey, what she say? That's for fucking somebody else.
Yeah.
So even drugs used to be a shameful thing, man. Even like weed back in the day, like, nah, man. You know, they was on their Nancy Reagan shit, just say no.
Yeah.
But now, you know, shit, they move more drugs, I think, by way of music to get into people's heads than the dope boy do on the corner, man.
Hey, even just like in high school days, like females like you say like going down on you and stuff like that. That was shameful in it.
Never heard of
But
it.
nowadays, these females call themselves throat goats
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Shameless. Shameless acts,
Yeah.
man.
Eating groceries. That shit came from Kevin Gates.
But why is our nation
Yeah.
targeted
Right.
for that
It's
mindset?
the forefront of
At
it.
the
Right.
forefront of it, man.
Hey, you know what, man? Scratch that. Get Jeremiah 2 and 33, bro. Hey, get Ezekiel 37 and read in the NLT. I'm going to pass it on. And this is how cold Esau has became, man. He has turned a great nation, such as the nation of Israel, into fucking degenerates, man. But guess what? The Most High is only dealing with what? Hey, the God of Israel, or the Israel of the Most High. The Israel of the Most High was just the elect, right? And they can be targeted. They can still have their bullseye on them. But guess what? You would never shoot at them. You would never hit them because of the spirit. Right? Go ahead, bro.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2, starting at verse 32. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Yet my people have forgotten me days without number.
Now, we're likened to a woman, right? Now, if your husband gives you something, you're supposed to reverence your husband as being the man, the provider, all right, and all the things he has brought to you. And cherish. But guess what? We waxed back, right? And we did what? We forsaken our rock. And therefore, our rock had to forsake us, right? Go ahead, bro.
Verse 33. Why trimmest thou waist to seek love?
Hey, why trim your way to seek love? You sellouts, you puppies, you JDs, Jay-Z's, JDs, Oprah Winfrey's, right? You LeBron James. When you go into that term, trim in the Hebrew, I forgot it. I forgot what it is, but it goes into people doing to become happy, to become merry, to benefit, and so on and so forth. So trim as your ways is a form of what's selling out. Right? These niggas sell out. You got it, bro?
Yeah. Trim in the Hebrew, yatah.
Yeah, there you go. Your time.
Yatah.
That's right. Now read the Bible, so like read the Strong's definitions.
Okay. Strong's is well, good,
Right, so they do it to be well, to be good. Go ahead.
pleased,
To be pleased,
married,
to be happy,
amend,
to be a man. A man means reconcile, to fix. Go ahead.
better,
To fix what? To amend their situations. Go ahead.
better,
To be better, what? Meaning in this lifestyle.
accepted,
To be accepted by who he saw.
diligently.
To be no, go ahead. Go
They
ahead.
diligently be wicked. But that goes into what? Mark the 8th chapter, what 31st. What profit man to gain the whole world to lose the soul, and what he give in return?
That's right.
You know?
That's right. A sore ass.
Yeah.
And a defeated conscience. Go ahead.
All right. Back in the scripture. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked
niggas
ones.
do all them. You sell out, but guess what? You still can't outperform the curses. You do all that selling out, but guess what? You still cannot outrun the curses. Chris Brown is in London and had to pay a $5 million bond, right? A $5 million bond on the next. I think it was about an outstanding warrant. But wait a minute, you supposed to be rich now.
Right.
But guess what? Them curses still attacking you. So like mom used to tell us, bro, back in the day, it just pays to do fucking right, man. Go ahead, bro.
Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy way.
Right, Jake has become so wicked, they can teach Esau a thing or two. Puffy, take that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 34. Also in thy skirt is found the blood of the souls of the poor innocent. I have not found it by secret search, but yeah. I brought it up. We'll bring it again.
Go ahead, Scott.
This, Proverbs 12 and 26. But the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. The righteous represents, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, the 12 tribes.
And you neighbors are these other nations. And what makes us righteous? We receive the law, statutes, and the commandments. Right? That's how we were beautified.
We say we gave us that. It was like the beauty, like the standard of the earth.
That's it.
Like, we was like representatives of the Heavenly Father on earth, in the earthly form.
That's it.
So the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
Right, the way of the wicked, going to what this lifestyle, what to be Americanized, Westernized, right? Christianity, to have hope in this American dream, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Like anything Esau pushes out, he promotes, it's going to lead you to a dead end at the end of the day.
And that's why the scripture states what? Envy not you, your oppressor. Right?
Choose none of his ways.
Choose none of his ways, because his ways, you have to do what? You have to pick something out in Satanism that you have to do in order to get a house, in order to get a car, all right? In order to have a platform, you all got to sell out. Whether you're a basketball nigga, a streamer, a YouTuber, a rapper, a politician, right? Esau is called the God of this world.
And all of them are a means to an end when it comes to Esau. They use you to, enchant and throw off Israel, get them to perform or be wicked. And once they use you up, you become Puffy, you become Bill Cosby, you become R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Prince, so on and so forth, man. They use you for what they need you for, then you don't.
It's like you're a throwaway weapon to them.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what he's doing to Eve right now, currently. That's why Eve going so hard, she's feeling sad what she's going through. Not checking her out nowadays because she's been weaponized. So now what Esau is doing, utilize her, incentivize her over these decades, so she done fulfill his purpose. She done did a ruin for our nation. So now that's why she's at the forefront trying to be able to apologize why so-called black men not approaching them anymore. Right. That's because you made that covenant with them.
Hey, why do you how about Shema Shai, man? Jake is even like Eve, man.
It's beautiful. Now I'm saying it's beautiful because you see Eve, she's following right along with her serpent, the devil, man. Right along, it's like they going down at the same time.
But Shaquat in the garden, they went down together. They got judged together. Right? And a lot of you fucking Evites, y'all gonna die.
Yeah, for real, man.
Y'all gonna die. And again, hey, history repeats itself. Elder Kazak, when our nation started, we had what? Women of what? These other nations. We don't need y'all. Those are facts that'll do. And I'm not talking about the women that are so-called, in this faith. I'm talking about these hoes, man.
Hey, going back to Esau and Eve, it's like JD and Will. What they say? You ride together, you die together.
Goddamn right, they dying together.
Yeah, y'all gonna die together, man.
Hey, we're saying that covenant with death should be disannulled.
That's right.
That covenant goes to like that pact, like a solemn agreement. So what it's doing right now, when something disannulled, it's voided out. It's like a contract. It's being canceled, man.
Because you're losing. You was whole something.
You gotta do everywhere.
you're losing your enchantment. Even Jake, when you put your little, when Eve put her little seducing videos on social media, regular Jake is like, this ain't number prostitution. Regular Jake saying that.
Yeah, they can't do a video without showing their rack.
And Jake on social media, like, you know, if Eve say something negative about us, Jake could be on the comment boards. Who listens to Black women anyway?
Right.
Like, you see
more on the comments.
Yeah, they're like, who listens to BWs anyway?
It's a different spirit out here, y'all.
That shit don't hold no weight, man. All that twerking, you know what I'm saying? Your breast down and ass clapping. That shit is like,
bro,
ain't nothing new.
Jake,
Back in the my bad, Sport. Go ahead.
Jake is getting on semen retention.
Yeah.
Jake is practicing celibacy, man.
Yeah,
bro.
Jake is like renewing his spirit, man.
Sure, man.
And these men in their 20s. Because
Practicing discipline.
practicing. So if a man is practicing discipline, you lost your enchantment.
Bro, we went to school, bro. You couldn't wait to get your girl at the crib because you didn't. It was the imagination of what was gonna go down and how she really looked.
Yeah.
You didn't have that provocative attire back in the day, but now you see everything at the mall. You see everything in the club.
Social media.
You see everything hell at work.
Where's the mystery?
Where's the mystery?
Because if you ever been to a strip club, right, you don't get excited when they butt naked.
Nah.
It's like if they naked, it's like, oh, it is what it is. It's when they got the clothes on that creates the mystery, man. You know? And I just speak as good for myself. But if they already walking around naked, it doesn't have that same power. You know?
I used to be on the waitresses, man.
Yeah,
I used to hit
they
the
do.
They was slightly covered up. You know?
But you know, that's a heathen culture to be fucking naked and half naked, man.
Hey man, get this degenerates. I'm gonna pass on to the appointment, man.
Let's go, bro. Bring the scripture out first, right?
Yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I have planted thee a noble vine,
I'm
holy.
planting you a noble vine.
Sarah.
Noble means what? Highborn.
Yeah, bro.
We talked about who? The 12 tribes. What you were saying as a woman.
As you were speaking, I was just elaborating.
My
Sarah,
eyelids,
Deborah,
yeah.
and Susanna.
Yes, right.
The mother of the 7 sons.
Mary.
Man. Come on, man.
Right? Elizabeth.
Yep.
Susanna.
A lot of y'all fucking hyenas, man.
That's right.
What am I say? They don't know what they think modesty is dressing like the Handmaid's Tale.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you make an effort to get your woman to put the rest of her clothes on, she just think you telling me you like I'm on a Handmaid's Tale.
But I'm gonna say this, Coin. Really, that's more in order, because and it'll be women. It could be our mothers. I'm gonna say this, like our mothers, they out of order, man.
Right.
If they making fun of women, that's damn East India, because they all covered up and their face even covered up. That's really how the women of the tribe supposed to be, man.
And then, so if you're making fun at these women of the other nations, guess what? You are a degenerate. You are a degenerate.
Because Ishmael, Elam, they got their women more in order than we do.
That's right.
Hey, even what's her name? Lisa Rashad. She was she was on the Breakfast Club trying to speak on how women should carry themselves, conduct themselves, dress. Oh man, they put her head on the fucking chopping block, man. He was pissed off about that. Old woman, this, that, and the third. They threw, man.
That's like that same spirit that was coming at her, like your lady, Sharazad.
Dr. Sharazad Ali.
Yeah, it was coming at her. Whenever you get on the Eve, the beehive gonna come right along, man.
And these Evites, they young niggas too. They YNs too. Go ahead, bro.
Back in Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine.
But how did the Most High plant us a noble vine? By giving us the laws, statutes, and the commandments. Go ahead, bro.
Holy and right seed.
Holy, right? Meaning, hey, the entire nation of Israel is righteous, right? And that's going to manifest in the kingdom of heaven. But this time frame is only about the elect, right? But His holy. Go ahead.
How then
and that
art
goes
thou?
to show you that Yahushua died for all Israel, starting with the elect.
Yeah, because, hey, believe it or not, bro, we just know the awakening right now is for the elected as well tribes. But just imagine, at one point in time, every Jake you see walking around, they all knew.
That's right, bro.
The time of King David,
That's
the time
right.
of King Solomon.
That's right.
You know?
Holy.
Man.
Go ahead. Well, I mean, woolly. Go ahead.
How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?
How have you become a degenerate? How did we become degenerates? Spiritual fornications. Using their philosophies, assimilating into those philosophies, and guess what? Those philosophies made us disregard the law, statutes, and commandments, and guess what? We start believing in their way. And it's showing in what? Our actions. Get degenerate, bro.
And it pleased the flesh. it felt good to the flesh, man. Even your flesh gets aroused or it gets enchanted by dark rituals from other heathens.
Yeah.
You know, it enchanted Israel. You know,
And I'm down back because Jay had got up into that wickedness, like y'all get into. You know, they envied the other nations, and also Jake sees that wickedness works.
Yeah.
You know, for dealing with righteousness, it takes patience.
That's right, bro.
You know, it takes time, but you know, you worshiping the gods of other nations, it's more of an instant gratification thing. Man.
The musician in Clarksdale, that overnight success.
I was on the sinners.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that happened in real life. That happened somewhere in Clarksdale, and it's a fucking four-way.
GMS 22,
something like that.
Yeah,
he sold his fucking soul. And to validate it, go back to T.I.'s video, The Old Me Dead and Gone. Guess what? They simulate that same area over there in the Delta. The fucking horn just ring. They have simulated that same area in the Delta. You had what? You had that piano. It caught on fire. That means what? They was getting their power from Satan.
Because they said when he came back, he played like never before.
He never knew how to play to that shit before he went over there, bro. Yes.
Hey, because their left hand like the microwave effect.
But that's like Zaquan was saying, it's overnight success. Go ahead, bro.
This is our degenerate in the etymology online, having lost or suffered impairment to the qualities proper of the race or kind.
The quality goes back to what? The law, statutes, and commandments, man. Go ahead.
To be inferior to one's ancestors.
To be inferior to our ancestors. Lil Wayne is inferior to King David, right? Mike Tyson is inferior to King Solomon, right? Barack Obama is inferior. No, Samantha, what the fuck? He's an ally, right? But anyway, Oprah Winfrey is inferior to Mary, right? Go ahead, bro.
That's a demon.
Demon, man.
To become unlike one's race or kind.
To become unlike one's race or kind. Hence, degenerates, right? Now, to prove that.
Gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Fall from ancestral quality.
To fall from ancestral quality. Now, with that being said, go to 1 Kings 11:3. You get Exodus 19:6. Okay, go ahead.
1 Kings 11:3, and he had 700 wives.
Ooh, King Solomon. Wives, meaning what? Go ahead, it's gonna break it down.
Princesses.
Princesses. So our women are classified as princesses, right? Go ahead.
Not queens.
Not queens. Queens means whore. Go ahead.
And 300 concubines.
300 concubines means what? Lesser wives. Now, I want to focus on what? Princesses. When you go into that term in the Hebrew, it goes into noble. A noble woman, right? Which means what? Highborn, right? Now, get what you got. So this shows you the quality of how our women supposed to be. They're supposed to be princesses, right? And not hoes, not queens, not baby mamas.
The value is within the virginity and also the femininity.
That's right, bro. You know? That's right. You had something?
Yeah, two quick ones. Just going to back with degenerate, because the word de, goes to like step down, and like generate or generate goes to like birth, So like we birthed into these other nations with their false idols, philosophies, and ideologies, So this going to about that fall from our ancestral quality. Limitations 4:1. How is the goal become dim?
Israelites, and we became dim by assimilating to the ways of these other nations, right? We got that dross. Right? We lost our shine. We lost our glow. We lost our value.
That's it. And the word is luster. Dim goes to like luster.
Mm-hmm.
We lost that glow. Mm-hmm. That's absent of the Holy Spirit.
That's right, bro.
And it says, how is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street.
Right. And look at our people. Right? Are not they at the top of every street?
It seems like a wild bull.
Right.
Carving the nets.
Right. And what makes a wild? Under that feminine behavior, that feminine mindset. And that goes to show you that those Italians are jakes too, because when you go on Goodfellas, they out there on the streets chilling on the stoops, man.
Bronx Hill.
Shit, Nino Brown, what was that?
New Jack City.
New Jack City.
If I may add, they don't have the spirit and energy of Yahweh Bashmi Osai. They don't have the laws.
Right.
So all you have is your animal instincts.
That's it, bro.
You're uncivilized.
What did King David say in Psalm 73rd chapter? Before I came to y'all was a beast before you.
And that's why the parable goes to Romans about those wild olives. That's talking about our people, man. That's Jake. You know, Jake got all these texts on their face and body and stuff like that.
It's getting worse.
All these weird colored hairdos and styles, wigs.
Apostle Paul covered that also in Romans the 11th chapter. You know what I'm saying? Them wild olives. Yeah.
Wild
Because
olives.
another scripture say wild grapes in Isaiah. But that's Jake, man.
That's
you know,
Jake,
Jake is wild. You know?
And you think about, like, look how Jake incorporate the word savage now. You know, they call themselves savages. I'm a beast, I'm an animal.
Yeah.
When they do something so-called good. You know, they refer to these low quality words, man.
Hey, just to back y'all up, get that.
Ezekiel NLT 37. Yahweh took hold of me, and I was carried away by the spirit of Yahweh to a valley filled with bones.
So Ezekiel saw what? America, right? He saw America, and America is symbolic for what? This valley full of bones. The bones are the Israelites, right? Lacking the Holy Spirit. And we all were dry bones prior to being initiated in this truth. Go ahead, bro.
He led me all around among the bones that covered the valley floor.
Meaning what? He saw different parts of America, man. He saw different parts of America. Go ahead.
They were scattered everywhere across the ground and were completely dried out.
They were scattered everywhere across the ground throughout America, right? He seen the Lil Waynes. He saw the Cardi B's. He saw degenerates, right? He saw the Evites, right? He saw probably settings where a woman was disrespecting her man all up in his face and shit. He saw niggas running up on their fellow brother and gunning them down in the streets. He saw all this shit.
When those ancient prophets was like that, they had those trances. Like, they was overwhelmed by it. They got sick.
They got sick.
Rightfully so, man. You see our people in this dead state right now? They'll make anyone sick. Years ago, that you saw them, more type of harmonious spirit, you know?
And you can tell that was a terrible vision, because you have a good vision, you ain't gonna be sick. That's a great point.
And on top of that, those prophets, man, they was more stronger.
That's right.
You know, they can handle a lot more type of pressure than we can in this day and time.
Well, prove your point in the book of Daniel. It tells you how the prince of who was that prince of Zipporah? How Michael and Yahushua had to work on his mom. It took them, I forgot how many days it was, but that's the actual fact. Go ahead, bro.
Ezekiel 37 verse 3.
And had it been the last king of the Persians and the Medes.
Right. That's right, bro. That's right.
Because the Greeks would come in after that.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, bro.
Ezekiel 37 verse 3 NLT. Then he asked me, son of man, can these bones become living people again?
So he's asking him a question. Can they become Israelites again? Right? Is there any hope? What do you think? Go ahead, bro.
O sovereign Lord, I replied, you alone know the answer to that.
Hey, so Ezekiel looking in that trance, and he like, shit. I don't know, man. Oh, shit. These niggas fucked up down there.
Keisha and Nate, you know what I'm saying? They scissor fighting and doing lines of coke. You got young Jake walking around in 100-degree weather with a hoodie on or a Pooh Shiesty mask on, looking crazy.
Tats in their
I'm like,
faces.
what the hell is going on? What is this?
Taking graduation pictures with a Pooh Shiesty.
Bro,
That's
that
crazy.
graduation shit is crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You see that shit now?
How they do?
How they do? I'm stacks of money, crazy cool.
Jake out there in Houston, man, had 100K at the prom, man.
All her dresses made out of
So that
No, Jake,
was-
he counted 100K out there in his prom. You know,
Man,
Shaking his
graduation.
elbow.
You think they threw on like tear the club up or something, and they just started going crazy, throwing money in the air, twerking, sliding on the ground. I'm like, man, what is this?
It's just based on degeneracy, like even like at Jake's funerals, you see how they dress now, like especially like the younger Jakes.
Yes, sir.
Like, I know back in the day we was coming up, like you see, like we had at least proper attire.
You wore white and black.
Yeah.
You had black socks on, you had a white button-up shirt. And that shit was tucked
Like,
in.
these niggas be dressed like they going to the club. And shit.
That's it, bro. Go ahead, bro.
okay, Ezekiel 37 verse 4 NLT.
I think that's it, bro. That's it.
Man, I gotta finish.
Yeah, finish that. And I'm going to pass it on. Take too much time.
Go ahead, bro. This is back in Lamentations 4, verse 2. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold.
Right, we're comparable to fine gold, and we're precious, right? We have the Most High's DNA, man. We have Yahushua's DNA from a spiritual standpoint, right? And if Yahushua was on earth, he would be what? A Judite, A so-called Negro. If the Most High was on earth, he would be a Judite, a so-called Negro, right? So, man, bro, it's a blessing to be who we are. And it's a greater blessing than to be a man. Hey, shit. Go ahead, bro.
Yep. It says comparable to fine gold. I think gold, this Hebrew word goes into paz. You know, that goes into like refined gold. So you think about quality men of our nation, like from King David, King Solomon, Gideon, Samuel, Zerubbabel, you know, the Maccabean brothers.
Yeah.
Now you compare those quality men or high quality men or high value men unto the young thugs,
Jay-Z,
Lil
the
Waynes, you know,
the Tyler Perry.
So you see a big difference between the two, man.
And think about how close the prophet Samuel was to the Most High.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's go to the local seer. Let's go to Samuel.
That's right.
Like, you just went to the Samuel. Man.
They feared him too.
Yeah, because he can't walk in their way. It's like, does thou come in peace?
Yeah.
But look how the prophets get treated now.
Yeah, man.
You know, prophet. Some crazy niggas out there with Bibles and garments on, or dresses, though they call them.
That's right.
You know, but they got to give account for all that.
Hey, so she said that, get that Exodus 19:6. It's going to segue into what you're saying, bro.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 6. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests
Great gold, fine gold. Go ahead.
and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel.
Right. We were created to be kingly priests. We weren't created to be basketball players, football players.
Right.
Right. Doctors and shit, according to the standard of Esau, or fucking entertainers or slaves. Right? We were created to be kingly priests, man. A holy nation, man.
Kings and priests.
Kings and priests. Go ahead, bro.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses
Right.
and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
So it is an actual statue. You had Esau on a horse, right? And then you had Judah on one side of the horse, and you had Gad on the opposite side of the horse. Those are the servants, right?
I want to say it's Theodore Roosevelt.
It was Theodore Roosevelt. And guess what? Gad had his gun pointed up, and Judah had his gun pointed down. Meaning what? He was conquered. Jazz still had some fight in him. You know, so again, Gad had his gun up, Judah had his gun down. He was beaten down.
Hey, man, with the Most High, man. Hey, man. Hey, that's why the Most High be fucking with your chariots,
Hey,
man.
come on in, man.
You know? That's why how about Smell Shy? Man, you had an orb, man. Hey, I believe it was real. You know, a brother said to me on TikTok. It's this heavy fighter plane, right? Then a white orb was in the sky, and the orb just abducted the whole plane. It just absorbed the plane and just disappeared with the plane. You know? So, hey, look, hey, man, you got something coming, man.
Right.
As a nation.
Right.
That's why all we do is teach. Because, hey, in 2nd Ezra 13, you finna get it as a nation. All right, you got it.
You want to continue on that?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Start back at verse 7, Ecclesiastes. Read down there.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Back in Ecclesiastes chapter 10, starting at verse 7, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. He that diggeth the pit shall fall into it, and whoso breaketh and hedge, a serpent shall bite him.
And you could get 1 Maccabees 1 and 13 and 14 as a precept, because Captain the Bible made a beautiful point. We're not made to be no basketball players, entertainers for this damn devil, man. But history repeats itself. When you get conquered, you do conquer people's shit. And just how Greece was lit, and Jake was in fact, Greece made you ashamed of your Hebrew culture. And they rocking fitted caps. I mean, of course it wasn't a fitted cap, but they rocking caps. Man, they walk around with their shirt off, showing their abs and shit. They naked back in that day. Showing off their, and this is how a nigga get, them little shorts niggas wear is getting higher and higher. Jake want to show off their quadriceps and shit. All right, so we not back in Greece. Jacob here having sex in the open. Right. Eve out here, any type of freaky event, niggas and Eve is 10 toes down. Everybody coming out. Anywhere we can drink and eat and have sex at the end of the day, Jake is 10 toes down, man.
Yeah, the average Israelite, they're into threesomes and stuff.
It's the woman that bring it your way. It's the woman that introduced that to you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But ask them about polygamy.
Right. That's boring.
She like, nah, that's not my thing. Nah, that's not. You know. Man, I was like, I just hope a brick wall disappeared out of nowhere, man. You gotta go. Oh, First Maccabees 1:13.
Hey, this is Psalms 133, verse 2. It is like the precious ointment on the head that ran down on the beard, even Aaron's beard.
Oh, going back to that beard. Beard was a part of our culture. All right, go ahead.
That went down to the skirts of his garments.
Oh, because what we have, we had garments.
Garments on,
down to the feet.
That's right.
And part of Hebrew culture was we were fully covered. Because you know what I found out? The word pants go back to pantaloons, which goes back to which we were getting the word panties from. So really, pants is an undergarment. So really, remotely, how we're dressed on the highways and the byways with a garment covering our pants. All right, that's how you really supposed to dress in your everyday life. That's why in Europe they call pants trousers, because really pants is an undergarment, man. So even as men, we're not even fully covered, man. Now we in the West, so certain things you just can't really, you know, it wouldn't be wise to walk around with a garment every day.
I got you.
You got it.
This is Leviticus 6:10. And a priest shall put on his linen garment and his linen breeches.
Yep.
Shall he put on his flesh?
Yep, because what happens? The breeches go up under the garment.
That's right.
All right? So, because really, the pants is really underwear.
That's right.
All right, but it was a culture that started in Europe where they started walking around with pants without the overgarment. You're supposed to have an overgarment on top of your undergarment.
They have like Ishmael and Elam, them princes. That's how they still dress.
They still dress like that,
Right.
man.
Right.
Even when it's hot, they wear white.
Yeah.
You know, they got a white. I don't know what you call it, a shamag or something. You know what I mean?
But yeah, Ishmael, Elam, Jacob, West Africa, they all got them type of garments. You know,
Akbatas. It's an akbata. And we had something similar to akbatas, but we had printers on them, man. So even that's why they got some kind of ride print, man. You know, you gotta be careful with some of the clothes you wear, because workout pants or jogging pants. You know, because in this Grecian culture, that's like a thing. Because women look, but you as a man, you might not think like that. But you gotta be careful. But that's why we had overgarments, man. Showing your nakedness, man. You know? Go ahead.
It's the book of First Maccabees in the Apocrypha, chapter 1, starting at verse 13. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
And who was the heathen? Grecians. Edomites.
And the license, the permission.
Permission.
Don't you get a license to drive?
And a lot of you niggas, y'all got that Grecian energy. You're supposed to be in the truth as Israelites, but when you teach it, you're rocking the heads. All right? You got these parties. Y'all can't have an Israelite, a solemn assembly without throwing that westernized Grecian energy in it, that Hellenized energy, man. So who cares if they think you boring? Let them go that way. If they think, no, this is too boring for Jake, man, fuck them. But you're not gonna say that because you want that money. All right, go ahead. Start from the top again.
This is the first Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 13, in the Apocrypha. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
Go ahead.
And I say that license goes into a permit, which is the same thing, it's just a slip of permission. Verse 14, whereupon they built a place to exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
Read the last part again.
Verse 14, whereupon they built a place to exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
They built the Planet Fitness out there.
A crunch.
A Crunch Fitness out there. But they was butt naked, man. You know? And that's how he knows the place of Greece. And now the women are working out, right? And now the women are practically naked.
they showing everything.
Right.
Bro, you on a treadmill, like, bro, this is too much.
What's that one exercise with a woman, like she doing something, but she on the ground.
Yeah.
But like she got the Yeah, like the bar over her waist, but she like pushing it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot what you call it.
But people are coming in there, especially a woman. They're coming to the gym for pure attention.
Yeah.
Because they were, because if pants are undergarments for men, how much more for a woman? And a woman really ain't supposed to be in the gym.
Hey, but you know what? And you got this woman where we work out at, right? She has to be Israelite, but she be on the treadmill holding over her dress on.
You know, it's a woman that works at Planet Fitness. She always has a dress on top of the pants, man.
Wow.
But leggings and yoga pants, those are undergarments.
That's right, bro.
That's like you're fucking naked.
That's right.
But on top of that, they'll wear loud, flamboyant colors.
Yeah.
Eve with a cleavage out. But it's all an extension of the Grecian Empire.
And then we'll ask you what you looking at.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
That shit crazy.
More attention. That's all
They
they say.
say attention is a woman's currency, man.
But you know, you win the battle, you losing the war.
Right.
Your morale, your morale as a race, as a gender, is plummeting. You don't have that 2003 power no more.
And I see why scriptures go into Isaiah 32 about trimming you women that are at ease. Because you got just regular men that's not governing the Holy Spirit over you. How about Shemal Shah? And they see through the matrix now. And what they, they're not going to be governed by no righteous spirit when they come down on you when the society collapses. So you got to think like that. Like, man, like I'm making enemies with a lot of group of people, man.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Jake down here. They've been taking Eve out lately. Like a lot of Jake here, like locally, been killing Eve, man.
But you know what? The Most High, well, I think 73% of the violence done to Eve is by a dude she know. But who does she have in her life? What type of dude does she have in her life?
Right, but what proves the consequence with the crime? Them Jakes, them Evites that be getting off is by their husbands. Boyfriends, ex-boyfriends. I'm gonna tell you another point. How you know Eve is through? R&B is dead. You don't hear no niggas talking about you heard about her R&B song with niggas begging Eve.
Yeah, not lately.
Because even in the R&B, like Chris Brown is
pop.
Yeah. You're right.
He's really pop.
Right. But even like these niggas are singing, they just saying, I'm just fucking these hoes.
Bro, there's no Jodeci.
Yeah, I'm saying.
No Keith Sweats. No R. Kellys. No Buntes.
Niggas ain't begging to Eve no more.
Like R&B is really merging into like the Afro-centric type music.
Yeah, Afro beats.
Yeah, neo soul. Like Jake and all been begging shit like they did back in the 90s, man.
And even a singing nigga, like I said, you listen to that nigga, he just on some rough shit.
Yeah.
He's fucking his hoe in the restaurant.
Man.
Even blues, man. Blues are not like that with women no more. They getting grimy, man.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Come over and drop them draws type shit.
Yeah, like I got 3 bitches.
Why have one woman, you gotta have 3?
Yeah. So Jake ain't this P-bagging no more, man.
Blues, it's over.
Yeah. Hey, even Slim Thug, he said something to the effect of, I'm only fucking foreign women because these hoes over here are bad. Like, do like bad in a bad way.
Tell us about what you told me about them Jason Columbia, bro.
Oh yeah, I might upload that video. They were showing like Jake out there in Cartagena, Colombia. That's where a lot of Jake going to, like the passport bros. So they was in the immigration line, Bloods, American Jakes in the immigration line. Oh. So they were just asking like what they doing over there. Like Jay said, they found their purpose, man. They done with American black women.
Yeah. But you know what? Cartagena, Colombia, it has a lot of Asherites. They look like Southern Kingdom. Some of them may be of the Southern Kingdom, but like you look at Cartagena, like the makeup, it's I mean, they done with American Eve, man.
Hey, and you know what? Jake moving physically, but we moving spiritually.
That's right, bro.
Hey, we finna get the kingdom.
That's right.
Hey, we finna get the kingdom, man. And we ain't gotta hit no passport. Hey, you can't help it, man.
Yeah, how about Shemal Shah gonna bring it to you?
That's right.
But, hey, the 12 tribes over here now.
That's right.
Hey, well, you got it, bro.
Bring to my foot.
Let's go, bro.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 3, starting at verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink, and instead of a girdle, a rent.
Let's start right there. You're supposed to smell a woman from a mile away.
That's right.
Because first of all, women they bask in different odors. I was reading about one of the queens in England. They took baths with flower petals in the water. And even going back to our homeland and going back to Esther, the women had to bathe 1 year in oils. 6 months in this type of oil, 6 months in that type of oil, man.
Marinating, sweet.
So don't you understand? Like a woman was like an extended fruit.
Right.
This is how a man loves fruit. All right, a woman is like her breast, her backside, her skin complexion, her long hair. So it's supposed to come with an odor, a good odor. Yeah.
Hey, this is Esther 2:12. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, let me read that again. Esther 2:12. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months according to the manner of the women. For so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and with other things for the purifying of the women.
So now, it said, read that part again, the curse.
Back in Isaiah chapter 3, verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink.
And brothers have witnessed that firsthand. You know, some brothers do ride share. Some brothers are Uber drivers, Lyft drivers.
Some brothers be at work.
Some brothers be at work.
Go to the bathroom after that shit.
Yeah. And Eve, man, she'll get in your vicinity, man. And I literally smelled Eve, and she'll smell worse than Jake.
Yeah, you tell me what you're going to do with it, nothing.
Yeah, Eve opened up her legs.
Yeah.
You know?
And hygiene, pH way up.
Yeah, but you know what? Eve thinks it's a luxury to eat lobster.
Like
crab.
Like you went from that ancient habit or custom, like soaking in those oils. Now you're taking like 5-minute quick showers and stuff like that. Or you eat these abominable foods and all that stuff. It comes out of your aura, man.
And think about that. And these were women for a heathen kid.
Yeah.
So imagine how our women got done.
We say Deuteronomy, how they feet won't touch the ground, stuff like that.
And did we not have laws to tell if a woman was a whore?
That's right.
Because if a man suspected this woman to be a whore, they had a ritual with a concoction that exposed cellulite.
That's right.
And the cellulite was a sign that she was basically backdooring you, man. Now the average Eve woman has cellulite, man.
Got you, bro. This is Numbers chapter 5 and verse 16. And the priest shall bring her near. You know what? Let me start at 14, bro. Hey, let me start at. Yeah. Numbers 5 and 12. Speaking to the sons of Israel, and said to them, if any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept closed, and she be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the matter. And the spirit of jealousy come on him.
It's spider senses.
That's right.
Yeah.
So a woman has what? They call it intuition.
Yeah.
But a man has what? Spirit of jealousy.
Yeah.
Proverbs 6:34. For jealousy is the rage of man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
That's why when you have these marriages, when a man catches a woman, he'll offer them. They call it a crime of passion.
That's right.
He was in a trance.
Yeah.
Twisted crimes. Number 5 and 14. Back in Numbers 5 and 14. The spirit of jealousy come on him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come on him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, for he shall bring her an offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil on it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before Yahweh. And the priest shall take the holy water in an earthen vessel, and of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle. The priest shall take and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before Yahweh, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that caused the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with you, and if you have not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of your husband, be you free from this bitter water that caused the curse. But if you have gone aside to another instead of your husband, and if you be defiled, as some men have lain with you beside your husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing, and the priest shall say unto the woman, Yahweh make you a curse and an oath among your people. When Yahweh does make when Yahweh does make your thigh to rot and your belly to swell.
So that's a sign that she did backdoor a man. She committed adultery.
Right.
All right? You got some brothers?
And I mean, for and you see all these Evites, a lot of Jake women have what? Cellulite.
Yeah, I was about to read, like, for rot, it says to fall away. And that's what look, the cellulite look like their flesh, yeah, like the flesh is falling off.
Right. Decay.
Yeah, the decay.
Everybody got a lighter. But the point, man, all right?
I got you.
Hey, the point is those curses, man. You know, Jake, semen riding in a woman. You know, woman get on birth control, and her body doesn't go through its purification period. So, like, a woman starts sweating, and she'll start emitting odors because her body she never had a cycle. She never had a cycle in months. So now she has impurity just sitting up in her. She's a landfill. It's riding, man.
Yeah, it's a video. I forget which brother had shared it. There was a video. It was some Eve on social media bragging about having bugs in her coochie, man. You know what I'm saying? And she, yeah, and pretty much like she was like pretty much talking to the guy, like FaceTiming him, like yeah, you done got up in this, but yeah, I got bugs. And she was like, well, every woman got bugs. Like, no, the hell they don't.
But you know what? You know why Eve's so complacent like that? Because Jake ain't got no damn standards.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, it's straight simps.
Yeah,
right. And simp ain't got no standards.
They advocate for that type of behavior, man. Degenerate behaviors.
So, because only in the black community, I'm gonna call it black, is Eve's behavior acceptable. As soon as Eve step out the black community, she'll realize that she don't hold accountable.
That's a point, like we always say. Where are the Edomite sexy reds?
Yep.
The fucking Elam sexy reds.
Right. And particularly those inner cities, man. The inner city, that's like a slum of Jake, man. And like that brings up the worst boogers of our nation, man. You see a little Eve, little rap video, man. It's horrible.
Yes.
I'm like only just a hood booger like you, man. All right, but you got some, bro?
Nah, that was it. I was just reading the definition for that.
I had just bring out this because Isaiah said it won't be no longer a sweet smell, but a stink, right? And everything y'all brothers bringing out is goes into an epidemic. You know what I'm saying? An epidemic is a widespread occurrence of an infectious disease. And so all these women, man, their behavior, the way they do things, it like having sex with multiple men, you know what I'm saying? Like leaving the man semen in, that's gonna cause a stink. You know what I'm saying? The terrible diet is gonna cause a stink. You know, the BBLs is gonna cause a stink. You know what I'm saying? Just hygiene in general, man. Right. And it's so many that's like that, man. Women don't know how to wipe themselves, clean themselves, man. A woman with them long ass 4-inch nails, she can't clean herself properly when she go to the bathroom, man. Wow. So you know she's full of stink, man.
She got crap residue on her butt.
Right, yeah. Disgusting, man.
That causes infection.
That's stinky. That's gonna bring forth that disease, man. A lot of infections.
So in all these tight clothing, you know, now letting the debris like you're supposed to by wearing a dress.
Yeah, you wear a tight denim pants or tight leggings, tight
zippers.
Yeah, it was
leather pants.
Now you're right. Eve is a YN. She talk like a YN. She like bro. She got her bestie bro.
Hey, my brothers be up, man. I can't stand that shit, man. They call each other bro. Two females call each other bro. It makes no sense, man.
But you know what? The Most High gave them over to reprobate minds. You know? And they basically got men energy. Yeah. Nigga energy, man.
They said that, I think maybe you said that women are the new niggas.
Oh,
I think you said last week.
I think it was him quoting the brother from Chicago.
Yeah.
A modern so-called black woman, she's basically another nigga. All right.
It's Job 10:21. Before I go whence, I should not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death.
And that's America. And it's a shadow of death because anywhere you go, you really flirt with death. You get in your car, hop on the interstate, you flirt with death. You be around Jake, you definitely flirt with death. Anywhere you go, it's a festival. A lot of times before the festival is over, it's a damn shootout.
Dealing with Eve, you flirt with them.
You
The elder brought out the situation at the store.
Because, yeah.
And in the darkness, let's talk about what Satan does. Because look at all these lights in America. We have agreed.
That's right. That's right. Right.
We have agreed.
Right.
Being lost.
Being lost.
No wisdom, because wisdom
right.
maketh the man face to shine.
That's it, bro.
Wisdom is the oil, so the opposite of wisdom is the knowledge of wickedness, which ultimately goes back to Satanism. This is the land of witchcraft. You can worship anything. You can worship yourself. You can worship a dog, you know? And that's what they call hyper-individualism. And in the West, it's full of hyper-individualism, man. And it's part of the love of many waxing cold. Nobody give a fuck about each other.
That's right.
You know, your neighbor could be starving, whatever. Somebody could be dying upstairs. You don't care. You know?
That's right, man.
But nah, man, hey, there's two brands that's about to go out of style. Esau and Eve.
Yeah.
Those are two brands
Made in America.
made in America.
Goddamn dynamic duo, man.
Yeah.
Karl Malone, John Stockton.
Edomite supremacy and feminism. It's two brands that's finna be out of existence, man.
Ain't no coming back either.
The way of the East is the new way.
That's a stronghold being broken down right before our very own eyes with these end-time prophecies.
Watching it,
We
bro.
watching it.
Because, hey, usually Jake is like where the hoes at, right? But when you go to an establishment and a pack of Eve walk in, it's like, man, we gotta go.
Yeah.
And they louder than us. And I'm loud. I'm a loud brother. Eve is louder than me, man.
Loud as shit, man. Cackling hens. What the apostle called hyenas, man.
Yeah, a pack of hyenas.
Yeah, like in the fucking jungle or something.
Wild animals and shit.
Yep.
So it said, before I go whence, I should not return, even to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. And also the GNT, or the NLT goes into the land of darkness and utter gloom.
And that proved the prophets would come to America, man. Like the prophets would be here.
Yep.
You know, Job would be back. You know, it's different men of the Lord. You know, and it shows you the main controversy in scripture as far as location wise, it's America, man.
Utmost.
You know? Yeah, that's why we're supposed to be here doing the work, man.
It's the main focal point of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah's judgment in America.
And King David was coming over there too. If you can receive
Yeah,
that.
that's right. That's right. Yep. So just back up Elder Kazak, what did Donald Trump call us through the spirit, you know? Prophets of doom, you know? So it says, a land of darkness, as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
And a shadow follows you, man. You know, if you see your shadow, reflection of your shadow, that motherfucker follow you everywhere you go. That's how death mean in America, anywhere, any opportunity, you know, hey, death can present itself.
Dennis,
You know?
I'm sorry.
Driving to work, having a relationship with a significant other. You at the bar, you standing in line trying to purchase something, you get gunned down.
Hey, you have sex and now you got the pack. You know, you have sex, chick give you a fucking STD or some shit, man.
Your food, your water.
Say it again.
Your food and your water.
Death. No nutrients.
That's right.
This says without order, hey, nobody's under the law, statutes, and commandments. Everybody's going off their lower nature. This is a low nature
I
society.
got precept for y'all.
Let's go.
This really applies to our time during hardcore slavery, which can also apply to now, because we're still in the land of our captivity. All right, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
I remember when I used to make it home when I was a little one. Every time we made it to the doorstep, mom be like, "Thank you, JC, we made it home safely." You know, she always say that, like, "Hey, thank you that we made it home safely, man."
There's a saying among Jay too. Jay, you know, instead of Jake saying, you know, hey, see you later or goodbye, Jake would be like, hey, be safe.
Yeah,
Be safe. And they be like, "Lord say the same. I do this Tuesday."
Yeah. And they
Lord
show,
say the same.
and they showed a good example of that on the movie Menace to Society, came out in 1993, when Kane and
No, the other guy, the Muslim guy, Sharif. When they was riding, you know what I'm saying? He's about to drop Sharif off. He got pulled over by the cops. When we said, I got my registration. Yeah. I got everything that's so-called legal in this system. They still got taken down, man. Got beat by the cops.
And so speaking on that, you can be legal. No warrants. Yeah. You got your license. You have your insurance. Nothing in the car. And them blue lights come. Shit, you shook.
That's a form of PTSS, post-traumatic stress syndrome. You know, that's what only you see these people going through in the valley of the shadow of death, man.
And them cops know how to do you too, man. Like they'll know certain places, like don't nobody like go there. You know, certain times at night they'll just throw you in the cop car, drive you there, man, and whoop on you, man.
Hey, it's behind the precinct. Is it Clan Ken? One of those little cities. It's like 200 dead bodies up under the unaccounted for.
One in Jackson.
One in Jackson.
Not really. Rain. I think it was rain.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this vicinity. Yeah. Was it 200 bodies? Yeah. It was 200 bodies unaccounted for. I just like no, and nobody really like. There's no federal investigation.
Just a cemetery.
Just a cemetery. 200 bodies unaccounted. Like, where did these bodies go? Unmarked, man.
Oh, nation not desired, right? You know. Hey, this is book of Psalm 10 and 8. It says, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, and he's referring to Esau, Edom, in the form of the police, you know.
And the surveillance cameras.
Surveillance cameras are right.
And that's why they set up these Edomite cops in near the hoods to patrol, man, so they can be easy targets.
And they'll do it like right by like a club. They know Jake might get out. They're intoxicated, you know.
And they ain't doing that shit a shuffle. Exactly. Or the bulldog was packing. Hey, how many times have we left for another spot we go to all the time? We used to go to all the time. Reservoir. We don't never see no roadblocks.
That's right.
Enough Edomites be fucked up.
They got Jackson on lock though.
Shit.
Then they got to set up towards a slave quarter. Like basically, it's like the police got to set up to where really Jake don't like leaving Jackson.
Yeah.
Jake don't like leaving Jackson. It's really like a slave headquarters, man.
Yeah. Once they reach Pearl, that is like the boundary.
They be like, nah, I ain't going there.
I watched a Chicago documentary like that drill shit. They were just saying like, man, you got Jakes in Chicago, haven't been downtown Chicago yet. Yeah. You know, so it's been
that's facts though.
Yeah, they've been pretty much compacted in that particular area. You know,
concrete jungle.
You know,
what did you call it, man? It was post-traumatic
slave
syndrome. Where you know how that goes back to slavery, man. That the other brought out like Jake don't want to leave Jackson, so it's like that's like that pass that them Edomites would give a slave to travel, man. But they don't want to go out these perimeters. But when it comes to going out, they worried about seeing them lights, man. Which the torch goes into the siren lights. The dogs barking goes into the actual siren, man. So when they leave up out of here, they worried about, you know what I'm saying, that slave patrol coming on their ass, and they end up getting hemmed up, man.
We did this boy did a video. What we call it?
Patty rollers.
Yeah,
they go back to 12 years a slave.
Yeah.
But you know what? They have all that fear for the police just to go to an establishment where they're the biggest threat to themselves.
Yes, sir.
You got to go through the police, and you want to navigate through the police just to go to this club where you're your own worst enemy. You know?
Just back up El Kazak, you read that in Deuteronomy 28:66. By the assurance of our life.
You want to read it again?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 66. Starts verse 65 for you, Bible shop. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes.
So if you got a trembling heart, it means what? You're anxious. You scared. You're fearful.
You ain't at ease.
Yeah, you're not at ease.
Hey, well,
that's the stress.
Well, they interviewed those Chicago cats. They said those guys in the inner city, they got the same level of stress as somebody over in the war zone overseas. And then when they doing the interviews, they looking to the left, looking to the right.
Right.
It became so powerful because it became a term called no lacking. That's why you see them in interviews, they always checking, you know, how can you live a so-called life like that, man?
And isn't it evident that while we're talking about this, is a kid with a little gun shooting over there?
Late guns become real guns after a while.
Practice make perfect.
Finish it off, you bro. Now it says, all right, Salaki. And shall have, now it says, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Yep. So right here from sharp.com, just going to the point right here says, how do these events connect to African Americans' physical and mental health? They add to PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, a term coined by internationally renowned researcher Jerv DeGroot, PhD, to describe the multi-generational trauma and injustices experienced by African Americans from the dawn of slavery to the recent deaths of black citizens.
So Esau understand reincarnation. If you think about it, they understand reincarnation, right? Because they know that if you do this to these people, that it's still gonna carry out. It's gonna be in their DNA. From peers, from generations from one generation to another generation.
Because
they know this.
I always bring up this example. If you ever had a Labrador retriever, a golden retriever, you throw a tennis ball, they haul ass at that tennis ball and bring it back to you every time. You didn't train that golden retriever to play fetch. But 500 years ago, hunters bred them particularly and specifically when they shoot that bird out the sky, they're gonna bring that bird back to them. So in their Labrador is subconscious, he thinks that ball is a bird. But it's been bred from his breed generation to generation. And by the time you get that particular breed, he already knows the assignment. So same thing with being pushed off the boats, jumping off the boats, being beaten, watching our family get martyred, you know what I mean? We get chased by bloodhounds. Jake is like has a different type of fear of animals. You know, swimming, or it's the fear of an Edomite. You ever walk into I ain't gonna say fear, but you walk into an office and it's Edomite people you got to answer to. It's like weird energy. It's awkward energy, man.
It's like you know that they got the upper hand on you.
You know they got the upper hand, man.
Kind of remind me of like those border collies.
Yeah.
Those like sheepdogs.
Yeah.
They like it's embedded in there to go, to hunt sheep. Just chasing sheep, control the sheep, man.
Yeah. Why do you think Jake's still in water? He goes back to the transatlantic
The same ships.
jumping off of fucking ships, or you getting thrown off the motherfucker?
Or Jake get around an Edomite actual question, and Jake get all friendly.
Yeah.
Like they be in survival mode.
Yeah.
Like Eve get friendly. Eve answer the phone call, make an effort to sound like an Edomite woman. Like, why are you sounding like an Edomite woman?
Right, sure, right.
You in survival mode. Because when Esau when he was an agrarian king down here, he broke Jake in. He saw Candyland, Django Unchained.
And the video I did, it was going to like how those terrorists in the hair weave industry.
Yeah.
And he said why they do it because they can't get jobs and stuff like that. So it shows you inwardly they feel they have low self-esteem about their so-called natural hair, man. Mm-hmm. So that's why they adopt to these other heathen nations customs by wearing these wigs and shit like that.
But even the bitch be famous though, like Lil Kill.
Yeah. So it's no excuse.
Serena Williams, them bitches be millionaires and they'll get that bag and bleach their skin, have blonde hair, blue contacts, get a Edomite husband, you like a fucking loser.
Veneers.
Here it is. The average Jake look like him, right? The average Jake, about 6 feet. You can easily get a Jake that's ripped up. Serena Williams got enough. Like, you got to look at her husband, man. Like, bro. But when it comes to us, Jake got to be 6 feet, 6 figures, this, that. But when it comes to Massa, you like shit.
So just back up El Kazat, we just read, says PTSS has similarities to the more widely known diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, which is PTSD. It says similar signs of the two include avoiding certain places, people, just said Edomites.
Because you don't want to, the average Jake doesn't want to go to an establishment where there's the Edomites. Like, we might know a brother, right? You might have a friend, a Jake friend, he cool with all the Edomites. Yeah, it's like, bro, you cool with this shit? And he cool with him, but it's like, bro, this don't feel,
I'm about to close, man.
Yeah, like, what the niggas in, man? I'm just struggling.
Bro, but yeah, it be like some energy, like, I mean, I know it's just a movie, but art imitate life. Like you say, bro, art imitate the scriptures. Like, around certain Edomites, man, like, it'd be like that get out type spirit.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, what the, like, job I used to work, I'm like, bro, this is weird as fuck. I'm surrounded by Edomites. It's like they call that white space. You a Jake moving in white space. When you the only Jake, you surrounded by them Edomites that working this weird ass energy, but it's like subtle, microaggressive, passive aggressive shit going on. It ain't direct nigger shit. You know,
They look at you funny.
they look
try to bump into
or they
you.
be joking with you, trying to force you to laugh with them.
Yeah.
You know,
Still ass joke.
still like, bro, this is
Or make you take a drink.
Yeah, they gonna try to buy you a drink in the bar. Man.
yeah, like this energy weird. What I was gonna say, but why does Jake feel uncomfortable down south talking to a Edomite woman? Yeah, a lot of Jakes down south, it's comfortable with talking to an Edomite woman, especially like in public. Ironically, it's either get you
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm like the YNs. I be trying to get a hat for grandpa.
Yeah.
Man, I
Still
don't
gonna do it. Yeah,
I don't know if it was a comedian I heard or an older Jake was telling me, but and I don't know if maybe brothers done noticed this or haven't noticed it, but when you see Jake walking somewhere, you don't know what you do. You throw your head up, right?
Yeah.
But when you see an Edomite, you do this. I noticed back in the day, I used to do that shit, like do that. You know,
It was
it's all like
self-conscious.
self-conscious.
It was
With no thought.
subconscious.
They still do.
Huh? No, fuck no.
Hey, how about my shot woke us up?
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, what was this survival mode, man? And that was a great shame, but hey, we all got in our back on the plantation, we had to bow fucking head, man. We had to bow, but guess what, man? Hey, those bones is risen, man. Break every fucking chain, man.
Yeah, we whistling white holes in Mississippi.
And we holler at them. We holler at them. You funny. Hey, we holler at them. Hey, you know what? Because Ed Mathieu, that's my cousin. Distant. But hey, look, that's irrelevant. But we holler at them. You know?
They like it.
Well, the most racist county got the most friendliest Edomite women.
Yeah. Hey, the Edomite women, man, they was taking Jake to town back on them plantations, man.
Yeah, they still do, bro.
Yeah. Same spirit, man.
Because you had Edomite women that own plantations and they'll be single. But they workers. What do you call it? Fraternization? Or whatever the fuck they was doing. Yeah, they was messing with the Jake on the plantation, man.
Look at that movie Life. We can't get right.
Yeah.
The sheriff's daughter had to have him, man.
That boy was speechless, still not gonna do that. So it says avoiding certain places, people, or activities and events that may remind the individual of the trauma or experience.
Because you think of,
What you're saying, bro.
you know, Jake knew what was happening at them lynching services, man. All the Edomites are gathered around. You know, they gonna either crucify or mutilate, set Jake on fire, man. And some of them family members off the distance, hearing the commotion and knowing what was going on, man.
Making eye contact.
Yeah.
And you know what I noticed though? A lot of Edomites feel uncomfortable around the brothers. Like Edomite men, Edomite men that get around because brothers got their spirit on them, and they feel uncomfortable around brothers, man. It's like, bro, who is this?
Right.
Like, you know, like he ain't doing, he don't move like these niggas.
Now they want to ask questions.
Yeah, it's like on the job or whatever. You might not do it on the conscious level, because people tell me all the time, like, bro, smile, you like you mad at the world. But yeah, I noticed that a lot of Edomite men, they don't feel comfortable around Jake down here, bro. They don't feel comfortable around brothers, man.
They could be fearful.
Yeah, it's a fear. It's like, yeah,
They be fearful.
they be fearful.
Especially like going to an elevator.
Yeah.
You might be up in there with kind of jump. I experienced a few times.
That's why most I gave y'all guns, man. All right.
So it said difficulty concentrating, feeling jumpy, or being easily angered. Appearing emotionally numb, also called vacant esteem. This includes feelings of hopelessness, depression, and a general self-destructive outlook.
Hey, Jake in America, man. But Jake got post-traumatic slaves, and it's all 12 tribes. Because, hey, boy, I can't forget about Northern Kingdom. If you think you better than us because you look more like the man that conquered you, you got post-traumatic slave syndrome. You think you better than us because you look more like Massa.
Right.
You a damn slave, man. You broken, man.
Right. So it shows you how he feel about you by what he just did, man. Ain't no telling what the hell these so-called Mexicans that, man, after they've been deported and some of them might be in Guantanamo Bay somewhere.
And then migrants in general, because Esau Edom, he not just getting Issachar, like he getting some of all the tribes, even among the Southern Kingdom.
Yep.
You know?
Get in the mix.
You remember the Haitian situation?
Yeah.
His brother Levi. And Jake is next.
Yep.
The average, you think Esau gonna let YNs roam in his kingdom forever?
Right.
No, the next target is Jake. This is gradualism right here. Because everybody will accept the whole immigrant narrative. Everybody accepts that shit for the most part. Even Northern Kingdom accepted that. But now it's gonna get local. Because now that there's a crisis in the cities. Crime rate sky high.
You got these so-called white South Africans coming over here.
Yep.
So Esau tapping more into the Edomite supremacy, man. When they say make America great again, that's talking about making so-called white America great again. You know, it doesn't benefit you tribes.
And you're gonna find out that Esau doesn't perceive you as humans.
Right.
When Mosai raised this nigga up in power, he flipped it. We're the leper on the earth. In his mind, we're the subspecies. We're the people that's incorrect, and our brains are inferior. And that's the beginning of genocide is dehumanization.
And you have to be a nation of color in order to be a human. So Esau is not human. Because you goes into color.
Yep. So you're the incorrect species, but the Most High raised you up, and now you're running around with your propaganda.
Right.
It's Twilight Zone, man.
Right.
These pure blood, these pure blood Americans, they love to scream about, vocalize, about their so-called Constitution. So part of the Constitution, so-called Negro, is considered 3/5 of a man. So hey, so that ties right into this Edomite supremacy that we said coming about with this great reset.
And you brought up the slogan, Trump make America great again. So how did America become great? Off the free labor of Israelites, man. So they want to go back to having Israel truly under their foot, man, under a different type of submission like they had back in since the transatlantic slave trade, man. They want Jake at a minimum. What I mean by that, kill as many of you all. Like the elder saying, they finna knock off a lot of these little young niggas and anybody else that could become collateral damage. And the rest is gonna be, whatever they desire to do with you, man. Be a slave, whatever, man.
And Big Trump in the cut Section 8.
Yeah.
So, but it's good because, Eve has set her house in slippery places. It's not natural to have sex with random niggas, then you pop babies.
Right.
Then you live in some artificial habitat called Section 8.
Right. That's the job now.
That's the job now, man. Now, that's why the elders established marriages. We had arranged marriages. Men. We had what do you call it? It was like interpersonal banking.
Yeah.
You marry your daughter to my son.
Yeah. And everybody, the son and the daughter, their family give them portions of land and so much money, and they get to start building. Everybody, generational wealth progressive, man.
So you having babies in artificial habitats. Now you finna pull that rug from under your feet. So now it's gonna be Eve with 4 random kids asking for help. And now, they asked Charles and White about this shit. He was like, yeah, that's cool. It's gonna raise up prostitution. He was like, they're just gonna create more prostitution. It's like, Eve, you are already a harlot, but now it's but you know what that happens? When all of y'all doing the same thing, the value plummets even more.
You know how much sex you gotta have in order to afford housing?
Because it's gonna be short-lived. Prostitution's gonna be short-lived, man. Because when this society collapses, the monetary system collapses, they gonna be getting ravaged, man. They gonna be bargaining chips, man.
You gonna have to,
Oh, you coming, Smoke?
Yeah.
But a woman having a hustle, that's the first world privilege anyway. You don't understand the concept of a woman being booty or spoiled or property. Because when everybody gets to their third world state, how can you have a say-so when I'm stronger than you?
Right.
I'm not gonna just pull your arm and say, come with me.
Okay, you gonna go back into that ancient spirit.
Yeah, he gonna get, hey man, like a woman really talking.
Hey,
It's the first world shit.
I realized that shit with my mom. You come in your teens, she was talking.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I am struggling, you know what I'm saying? But she told me, you ever think about it, you know what I'm saying? She already knew I had size up. I'm like, man, people.
Because when a nigga nuts drop, when Jake nuts drop, a woman's you can't be dominated by your mama like that.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is you instinctively don't really respect
Right.
it. You know the laws.
The script said, honor your father
And your mother. But that's why
That's proof that's why you're supposed to have the fathers there.
that
You know what I'm saying? To continue that discipline.
and that's
Guess
why
what?
your
I got snitched on.
Yeah, and I know, because I know you look at your dad like I can take him. And also, when you hit puberty, really it's time to go into indentured servitude, go into the real apprenticeship,
Right.
and then when you finish with that, you got your own establishment. In 12, because I even heard Jake talk about it in Africa, certain parts of Africa, based on what Jake said, man, by the time you're 12, you can build a house, you can do this, you really an established man by the time you're 12, depending on the culture.
So that's why Yahushua went and did what he did. He started the ministry. He was 12.
What you said, bro. You said apprenticeship, right?
Yep.
So once a boy gets a certain age, he go do what? He go and be with his father.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, once the nuts drop, it's time with the nurturing and with mama, that shit really kind of old with.
But the nurse really even spoke. It's a lot, bro. The nursing stage is from infancy to about 4 years old. So when a little boy 4, he's already around men and things of that nature. But like I said, really by the time you're 12, you're in adulthood.
Hey, look at Jacob and LeBron.
Yep.
You know, he came back filthy,
Yeah.
wealthy. You know,
But let's say you're 12 and you're not established. So you send your son off into a ditch of servitude.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it says if you have a female daughter, you should not send her off as being servant. Meaning a man servant, you go in a ditch of servitude. After the 6th year, you're free, but you have resources now. Right. But the point is, man, we had laws, we had systems within our laws. They created order within our nation, man. So Eve already been living in an artificial existence with her life, careless, man. You just having babies by random niggas. They got her house. Esau paid you to sell out your nation. And you created a degenerate species of men. Hey, but y'all had any closing statements? All right, with that, we hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give our honor and glory to Double honor to our elder apostles, elder bishops of great minister over well. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Shalom.